Hello, this is Breaking Down the Barriers, and we are your hosts, Terry Russell and Beverly Reeves, and we are here today with Elsa Perez from the Department of Communications and Community Engagement. Elsa is joining us today to talk about the Back to School Bash, AISD's biggest back to school event.
So thank you, Ms. Perez, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us what you do with AISD.
AISD strives and provides customer and quality service. I am one of two customer service representatives for the district.
Okay. So how did you become part of the planning for the Back to School Bash? And tell us a little bit about the event.
All right. Bella Delgado, who is the Assistant Director for Community Engagement, approached me and asked if I would help her organize this event. This is our 10th annual Back to School Bash in conjunction with the City of Austin. And this is where we have over 130 community and district organizations provide information and services for our AISD families.
So I understand this event continues to grow each year.
It does.
And so where would it be held?
This year it is going to be held at the Palmer Event Center, which is located at 900 Barton Springs Road.
So for those individuals who are interested in attending, how might they get there? Do we provide transportation?
Absolutely. We're fortunate enough to have a wonderful transportation department, and we'll have about 8 different locations throughout the city at some of our high schools and some of our middle schools, and I think there's an elementary in there where they could go and park and ride the bus, and it will run every 30 to 45 minutes beginning at 7:30.
Okay. So what are the hours of the event?
The hours are from 9 until noon, but I suggest that everyone gets there a little early because it does fill up fast.
So for individuals who might not be familiar with the Back to School Bash, what kinds of activities or information might they receive?
Oh, they're going to be getting all sorts of informative information and fun information as well. We have different exhibitors through the district and through our community who will provide some fun activities for the students and their families. They will also share some of their organizations' services that they will provide to help ensure the students and their families have a successful school year.
Okay. And so I know this is a collaboration between the AISD and the City of Austin. So is this just for AISD students?
It is. It is just for our AISD families and the students. And that is why we ask that when the families come to the Palmer Event Center for our Back to School Bash and to get the free backpacks, because that's what I'm sure everybody's there to get, they do need to bring their students with them.
So, how many people are you expecting to attend the event?
We
'Cause
are
I know
anticipating over 8,000 families to come.
8,000?
Yes, it's growing every year. Yes, bigger and bigger.
Explain some of the services in more detail that people could expect to find at the bash.
Well, for instance, we have our immunizations. So if our students are lacking any immunizations, they do need to bring their shot records so they can get free immunizations. We also have vision screenings and eyeglass screenings. We also have booster seats and car seats that are available for free. Again, everything at this event is free. We will have some special surprises and special entertainment there at the event, so I don't want to spoil anything, so you're going to have to come out and check it out and see what kind of things are going on.
Okay, I didn't know about the special surprises.
We've got some special surprises.
Okay, so I know that there are just tons of things that'll be going on at the bash. So what types of presentations are going to be available for people to participate in?
Well, through our district, we have different departments that will come in, and you'll visit their booth, and they'll discuss what kind of services they can provide the families as well as the students. For instance, I believe that one of our guests today is going to be Project Help. So if anyone is needing some assistance in that respect, she's going to talk about that. We also have early childhood that they'll be there. We have, just to name a few, our dual language, our science department, our math department, our curriculum department, just to let you know what is out there, what we do for our students, for your children, to make that year successful.
So those are district vendors, or rather exhibitors, since we're not selling anything.
Right.
Name a few of the other attendees that are
Well,
going to participate.
Yes, we have wonderful sponsors. Without our sponsors, we would not be able to put on this event. We have our A-plus Federal Credit Union, who will be there to assist and show how our students can have an account, a bank account. We have our Seton Health. Again, they're going to be providing, our free services there. We have Google as one of our, Google Fiber as one of our sponsors. We have radio shows, Univision, and we have, just to name a few, we have dental services that will be there to show you, ways to brush your teeth and, hand out, toothbrushes and different health, not only health, but daycare services that are offered there, after school activities at the schools that will be there to provide, that information to let you know what else is out there other than just the school and the academic part of,
Will there be vision care?
There will be vision care. Again, you do need to get there rather early, as the seats there are limited for the eyeglasses. But vision care, yes, they will do screening for vision. There will be the screening for blood pressure. There will be screening for blood sugar. So all kinds of other screenings, health screenings, just to name a few.
In regards to the vision, will children be able to receive their eyeglasses that day? Or are we just going to just screen them and recommend they go somewhere else?
Some are provided there at the event, and others they would have to mail or send to the school. They ship them to the school, and the school will then deliver them to the student.
I guess it depends on the prescription.
It does depend on the prescription.
Okay.
Yes, and that's limited. The glasses itself are limited as far as the amount that they will provide.
So are the other services, is there a cap on how many people will be able to receive immunizations? I know before in the past we've given car seats out and things of that nature.
Yes, we will. We will be giving out free booster seats and car seats, and they're very nice booster seats and car seats. What we're wanting to do is not only you're not just going to get the backpack with the school supplies. You need to they have to visit certain exhibits in order to get to the backpack. So there's going to be a card, they're going to get their card stamped, you have to visit so many exhibits, and then they will go straight to the end, which is the backpack and the school supplies. However, I must repeat that students must be present with their parents in order to get their backpack.
So who are the people who are donating these supplies to provide these services for the Big Bash, for the Back to School Bash? Right.
Well, again, our sponsors have donated money or have donated the school supplies as well as our backpacks. Different departments within the district, different organizations throughout the community, not necessarily as far as an exhibitor, but who have offered to share in that aspect as wanting to help out with the school supplies and help our community receive these supplies.
So it sounds like this event focuses on the whole child and the family, starting with academics, telling about what AISD offers as a district, with health services and after-school care and other opportunities for families to learn about things that are going on within the community. So when they leave, not only are they leaving potentially with a backpack or a car seat or booster seat if they need one, but they also are taking information that's going to prepare them and their child to have a successful academic year.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is what this whole event is about, providing the families and their students this information, whether it's health related, whether it's academic related, whether it's outside activities related, whether it's just other fun ways to get involved with your community and your school. There are many freebies to be had there at the event.
So we want to make sure that people know that this is one of the things that AISD puts in a lot of effort and planning to provide for our students so they can start out the year with some of the things that they need so there's not really a burden on the family. If you could just kind of give us a recap of the event, of what's going to happen that day, what a parent can expect when they show up at the Palmer Event Center.
Okay. Again, we are providing free transportation for our families, which they can locate on our website, the different
Good. I
venues,
was gonna ask you that.
locations. And you can look at the district's webpage at www.austinisd.org/bash and click on the link where it says free shuttles. And there it will provide you the different locations, the different schools. They'll begin at 7:30 and run every 35 to 45 minutes. Okay. Patience is a great virtue there. There'll be a lot of families, a lot of excited kids. You'll come into the event and there'll be, you'll see first of all of our police department and our sheriff's department and our other different police organizations there, and they'll be showing you their canine units, they'll be showing you some crash dummies, they'll be showing you all kinds of other exhibits there for you. That's what you'll come in to see first before you even enter the Palmer Event Center. Once you enter the Palmer Event Center, you'll be getting you'll sign up for a door prize. We have lots of door prizes to be had there as well. Sign up for the door prizes, go in, visit all the exhibitors, get your card stamped, and go straight to your backpacks to get your backpacks or the vision or your car seats or your glasses, whatever other health exhibit that we have right there.
So the event is going to be on August the 15th.
August the 15th from 9 a.m. to noon.
Okay, at the Palmer Event Center.
At the Palmer Event Center.
And are you going to be there?
I will be there.
Front
I
and
will be
center?
there front and center.
So people can look for Elsa.
They can look for me and Perla Delgado.
Okay.
And as well as our wonderful team, the Department of Communications and Community Engagement.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We look forward to seeing you and everyone show up at the bash. We're going to thank you for participating, for coming and sharing this information with us. We're excited. And we're going to take a short break. Thank you for joining us. We're breaking down the barriers. We'll be back in a moment with Rose Coleman from Project Help. She's going to give us some information on what she's going to be sharing at the bash. And we are back with our second guest, Rose Coleman. She's the project supervisor for AISD's Project Help program.
And thank you, Ms. Coleman, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So for those of us who may not know a lot about the program, what exactly is Project Help?
Project Help is a district program that helps campuses and families, it helps campuses comply with what is called the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. It's a federal law that ensures the educational rights of homeless students and students who are living in transitional situations are met. The definition of homelessness under McKinney-Vento is students who are living in motels or hotels, living in cars, in housing shelters, as well as in overcrowded situations or substandard situations.
They're like 2 or 3 families
living together in a dwelling that's, you know, built for one, overcrowded situation.
And so does something have to happen that requires them to live in that situation for them to be defined as homeless, or can a family just decide that they're going to live in order to be able to afford a certain house that they're going to live stacked up?
No, to meet the definition of homelessness and be eligible under McKinney-Vento for the services of Project Help, it is not a voluntary situation. A family moves in with another family to share housing costs due to lack of housing or economic hardship. It's not to help with child care or to save up for something else. It's because they do not have the option of getting their own dwelling.
Okay.
So if a student qualifies for services in Project Help, through Project Help, what services do you actually provide?
We help the student enroll in school, answer the questions about McKinney-Vento, what school that they can enroll in under the law. For example, if they are highly mobile and have moved a few times, but the last school they went to when they were housed, they would like to stay at that school, we help ensure that they are able to stay at the school, that they have transportation to that school, that they have other things they need to be successful, school supplies, school uniforms, funding for field trips, and things like that.
And what about lunch or breakfast?
Yes, when students are enrolled in our program, we immediately enroll them in the free lunch program.
Okay.
And so if a family feels like they should qualify for services through Project Help, how would they go about getting through that process?
Well, at the time of enrollment, when parents fill out the enrollment packet, there is a form called the Student Residency Questionnaire. And there's a question on the questionnaire that says, is your address temporary due to economic hardship or lack of housing, loss of housing? If they endorse yes on that form comes to us from the school, and we immediately enroll the student in our program. Now, if they become homeless or lose housing and are in a temporary living situation after their student is enrolled, then the best thing to do is go to their school registrar, their school counselor, call us directly at the district program to be able to take advantage of the services.
Okay, so there's not a Project Help person assigned to every campus per se?
Yes, we do have representatives assigned to every campus, and every campus can get the parent in touch with the person who serves the campus directly. Or they can call Project Help at 414-3690, and we will let you know what person can help you at that campus.
So I assume that that serving students in this situation is pretty costly. So do you have funding just from the district, or do you have organizations who help support the services that you provide?
We have wonderful organizations that help us. The majority of the funding for the program is through the district, as well as what's called a TechShep grant through the Texas Homeless Education Office. But to help support the cost of school supplies, band instruments for homeless students and students living in transition, cheerleader uniforms, the list goes on. We have wonderful donors. One of them is Cap City Kids, who's been helping the program for years with a lot of these expenses, and Hindu Charities and Faith Presbyterian Church.
Wow, okay.
I know that it's a difficult situation when families are basically homeless, needing help, in transition. Actually, as a parent support specialist, I recall the family's house burning down and having to help them. And I didn't know about the McKinley-Vento Act at that particular time. So the family was struggling, trying to figure out what to do. And amazingly, one phone call to Project Help, we were able to help keep the young lady in the school that she attended and also help provide services for her. So that being said, I think that this is a wonderful program.
Great.
So tell us, I know times are tough now. What trends are currently happening that are causing people to be homeless now?
Over the last 15, 20 years, it's been this kind of perfect storm of lower and lower wages for work,
Right.
hard time people finding work, lack of affordable housing, and a scarcity of supportive housing programs as can serve as a safety net for people who do lose their housing because of the low wages and lack of affordable housing. So those three things combined have really forced a lot of people into some desperate situations, unfortunately.
So when a child has to go to school and they're dealing with this situation, how can we teach teachers and staffs to be able to understand what's going on and be sensitive to this uncomfortable situation that this family is in?
It's very important for teachers and adults who work with children who live in homeless situations on a daily basis to understand the negative consequences that the kiddos face. Because if they understand and can help the child through it and support them, they can mitigate a lot of these negative consequences. Children that live in these situations are often some of the kiddos that are falling asleep in class. They're sleep deprived
Right.
because of the crisis in which they live. They're under a great deal of stress
Right.
constantly, so this is going to show up in the classroom in the form of sadness, maybe some behavioral problems here and there. Kids in these situations are, when compared to their peers, they're sick more often. The overcrowded situations promote the spreading of disease. So there's a lot of things, a lot of challenges for these kids, and the more adults that can help these kids through it, the better.
Is there counseling provided by Project Help for children who are going through these issues?
We can refer families and students to counseling in the community.
Okay.
So we're able to refer for to get a lot of different needs met. Food banks, counseling, medical services.
Okay. So children who are in this homeless situation, they may not fit what we stereotypically think of as someone who's homeless. We are probably walking around with the idea of the people who are on the corner with their cans, with their signs,
Or in a shelter.
or in a shelter, what does a child look like? How do we identify this? If a kid doesn't come forward, if a family doesn't come forward.
A lot of families and students don't come forward because they don't realize they do meet the definition. And 60 to 70% of students that meet the definition of homelessness are in these doubled up, overcrowded situations. A lot of people think because you have a roof over your head, you're fine and you have what you need, but we know and research shows that is not the case because those negative consequences I was talking about earlier with the stress and the deprivation. So many times teachers and adults, they don't realize that these doubled up circumstances have just as many negative consequences. A lot of times the kids that live in shelters and motels do. So that's how they don't necessarily meet the image that we all have in mind. We may overlook the kid that he and his siblings and mother have moved in with the grandparents and think everything's fine. Well, if it's a two-bedroom home, these kids are going to be facing a lot of challenges.
Well,
Or if a
yes.
student continues to come to school late
Yes.
because they don't know that they can get transportation, and parents don't want to tell anybody that they're now in a homeless situation.
Yes.
If staff can be mindful of what to look for, and finally a counselor asked, why, what's going on?
Yes.
And they found out that they had lost their home due to the father no longer being employed. So now
Right,
they were
right.
staying with a grandparent who lived far away, but they didn't want to let anybody know because they thought they wouldn't be able to continue
Going to the
attending
school.
Right.
And it's very important for families to try not to have a sense of shame over these circumstances. They are far from alone. losing stable housing can happen to any one of
Anybody.
us. We worked
Yes.
with over 2,600 students last year in this situation. Families are
That is
not
a huge
alone in
amount.
this, and it is nothing to be ashamed of. There are many people in this community and in this district, droves and droves of people who want to help.
That's it's awesome to know that. So with that being said, we know that that means that's what you're going to be providing at the bash, information so that people will be aware of the fact that there is help out there.
Absolutely. We're going to have a table set up at the bash. I'll be there. We'll have pamphlets, tons of information, be able to talk one-on-one with anybody, answer questions. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So that's going to be a way for students and families to learn about the McKinney-Vento Act, and maybe they will reach out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You might be surprised at how many families actually qualify and didn't even know it.
Oh, yes. There are a lot of families out there, I believe, who remain unidentified because of the knowledge is not widespread of the criteria. So the more people that know, the better. The more people we can help, that's what we're here for.
Do you all have trainings with the organizations like the family support services, parent support specialists, to just kind of give them an idea of what this looks like and how they can help families?
Absolutely. We have an annual trainings coming up in August 6th where we work with campus-based personnel to present information about McKinney-Vento and answer all the questions that they have about processing enrollment for homeless students.
I think it's wonderful because, you know, being a parent support specialist, I'm not now, but knowing that we have parents who have to deal with that and children who have to deal with that, it is a struggle and it's heart-wrenching. It just kills you to know that someone's going through that struggle and not knowing that there is someone out there to help them.
Absolutely, and that many people have come before them and reached out for help and did really well in school. Worked last year with many seniors who went on to college facing many obstacles and challenges. We were able to help them link with other funders that could help them. You can have a bright future regardless of your circumstances. And I just can't stress it enough to always reach out for help, and that's what we're there for.
Well, we want to thank you for doing what you do. And we also want to thank you for joining us today on Breaking Down the Barriers to share information about Project Help. And we hope that people realize that this agency, this organization is available and that you're here to help. So thank you for joining us today on Breaking Down the Barriers. This has been Terry Russell and Beverly Reeves. Join us the first and third Monday of each month on KZI FM 88.7 or kzifm.org and on AIS TV blog and on Channel 22 every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 and Sundays at 10:30. Follow us on Twitter at AISD_BDB. Like us on Facebook and also reach out to us at www.austinisd.org. Thank you.